Did a corporation end slavery, or did the government do it? Did corporations?
What does slavery have to do with what we're talking about?
We're saying what there is a role for government in our society, and corporations cannot do everything.
But slavery was wrong to begin with, so let's not even. It was government that created it. Government is there to protect property, life, liberty, and that's it. You mentioned Walmart. So what are you afraid that Walmart's going to do to you?
What am I afraid they're going to do to me?
What is Walmart doing?
You should go and ask the employees that are working in sweatshop type conditions that don't get enough hours, that don't have health care.
Wait a minute. Then why don't they quit? I mean, Walmart doesn't hold a gun to their head if they can get a better job.
So why did the rape victim get raped? What was she doing out late at night? There's been memorials for Steve Jobs all over the place, at every Apple store. There's reporters that are all around the world that never asked one single question to Steve Jobs when he was alive. Why are you manufacturing your iPhone in China and you don't have any of your manufacturing here in the United States?
And I'll tell you why. Because
Do you think that's fair to the American people?
Wait, the American people don't own those jobs. Steve Jobs has a right to manufacture where he wants.
He does have a right to do it.
And the problem is we have made it too expensive for him to manufacture here.
We did.
With the government.
The American workers want too much?
No,
because
the
we
government
want too much
put too much.
Oh, it's the government's fault.
Remember, the reason that employers, want to lower wages is because their customers want low prices. Everybody in this park wants low prices. You can't have low prices.
No, we don't. No, we don't. Do you believe that the federal government has a right to exist and to govern the lives of American people?
It has the right to exist, but not in the form it exists today. It's operating outside the Constitution.
Do you believe the EPA should be disbanded?
I think it does a lot more harm than good.
Do you believe the FDA should be disbanded?
Yeah, I'd like to get rid of it.
What about the FDA?
Uh-huh.
The Board of Education?
I think we should.
What about the Board of Education?
I want to get rid of the entire Federal Department of Education. Yes, it is wasting our money, and it is running up the cost of education.
Sir, what I've learned... No, let me finish. What I've learned over the years is to never argue with a fool, and you, my friend, are a fool.
Okay, so I'm foolish, right?
You're
so
foolish.
I just stumbled into all my wealth. I run all these businesses.
How could you disband the EPA and the FDA and the Board of Education?
Because it's not the Board
You're
of
an idiot.
Education. You're talking about the Department of Education.
No,
did I call you an idiot? Did I call you an idiot?
No, you didn't.
All right.
What up, man? Listen, home, by popular demand, Pnoid's now selling merch. Man, look here, all right? We got 3 designs. We got the Pnoid Gorilla regular avatar. We have the Red Dead Redemption. And on top of that, man, listen, we got motherfucking the Angry Gorilla, all right? We got t-shirts. We have onesies for your baby. Take your baby and turn it into a baby gorilla. On top of that, we got pillows. Come cuddle up with the gorilla. And on top of that, we got cell phones and mugs. Cop you some merch right now.
All right, Tom Pease, we are live.
What up, and welcome to motherfucking Pnoid Live. God damn it, we got a great show lined up for y'all tonight, man. Legit, we're gonna fucking talk about racism, we're gonna talk about slavery, we're gonna shit on some things. Yeah, we're gonna do all types of shit. We're gonna shit all over some retarded fucking leftists. Man, listen, we're gonna be getting it the fuck in and doing what it is that we do. But, yo, look, first, back with me this week. Finally, after, you know what I'm saying, settling in all this fucking work nonsense he had to do, my partner, my muse, my bottom bitch, the only nigga in the motherfucking world with dads with motherfucking knee pads. Yo, goddamn it, accelerate. What the fuck's going on, man?
Yo, don't be confused, man. My boss is on vacation, so I'm just dodging work right now.
I got you.
There's nobody around to tell me that I have to do it, so here I am.
My work legitimately sent out an email, what was it, yesterday or some shit like that. They were like, Monday is a holiday, right? And fucking, then all of a sudden, they were like, you know what, we're probably going to have to tell everybody that even though it's a paid holiday, you still have to work, right? So then they sent out, you still have to show up for work on Monday, even though it's a holiday. It was all fucking capital letters and exclamation points, 20 minutes fucking later and shit.
Yeah.
Everybody all of a sudden was like, oh, cool, man. Fucking, so we don't got to go to work on Monday? And they're like, no. You still have to work.
Yeah.
Holiday doesn't mean the day's off.
That was, That was me working back when I worked at the warehouse for Guitar Center. It was the exact same way over the Christmas season because it was just way too busy, right? Thanksgiving, paid holiday, you still had to show up. You got extra money at least. I think most people, because of how shit we got paid, probably would have volunteered anyway. But nonetheless, it's nice to have the option.
Like, I still get $300 for Monday extra, you know what I mean? Which will, like, kind of, like, double my pay for the day or whatever. But, you know, it's on that level where it's like, you know, I would much rather have the day off for the $300 than the $6.
Well,
like, I'll be real with you.
Darkstar Mobile asks, don't they have to pay you time and a half for a holiday? I think some states have that written in law. What they do have to pay you time and a half for is overtime, but in most states, overtime is actually only hours worked, like real hours worked. So let's say you call in sick, but you had 8 hours of paid time off, but then you also pick up an extra day and you work 48 hours. It's not overtime until you're actually,
I don't have overtime.
Yeah,
there's
there's
no laws for overtime for us.
That's right, because you are, technically a contractor? Yeah.
No,
it's not even that. Just drivers. Okay, got it.
Yeah, drivers and farm hands are exempt from this law. So, like, there is no time and a half for fucking driving. Like, they don't even have to pay you for all your time. Like, say, like, you get stuck somewhere and, like, you're on the side of the road broke down. They don't technically have to pay you for that. They don't technically have to pay you for, like, fucking, like, waiting on a load or some shit. It's just industry standard that they fucking do it because, like, if not, drivers will just abandon the fucking equipment and go home, and they legally can do that at that point, right? Like, if they don't pay you, you don't legally have to do your job.
That's that's true. That is very, very true. In fact, some places got in trouble for that shit. Also, while I was working at the warehouse, apparently there was a big lawsuit against UPS because what they would do is tell employees that worked in their warehouses that whatever area they were working in, they had to get it all set up and ready to go before they clocked in.
Mm-hmm.
And
you can't work without getting paid.
Yeah, and that was everybody just said, look, that's part of their job is to set it all up, so that's illegal, and you are losing this lawsuit.
Remember how I told you how shitty this place is where I am?
Yeah.
Fucking
lines.
Right, like I'm at this, for everybody else who don't know, I'm at this fucking truck stop down south. Like, I'm on, like, the North Carolina, Virginia border, and, like, you know, South Virginia, right? And so, like, I go into this fucking place, and, like, on the door, there's a sign that says, drivers, please be aware when you take the Pilot Flying J survey, right? Because they hand out surveys to the drivers. Hey, how are we doing? You know, that type of thing. They go, remember, the Bojangles restaurant is not a part of the Pilot Flying J. Please don't judge us off of them, right? And, like, so I was telling Exel, you know, I was like, this is fucking, that's awful. You know what I mean? Like, legit, like, what type of restaurant would allow somebody to put that up on the fucking sign? You know what I mean? Like, on their fucking door. Like, if that's the door to go into your restaurant and it is literally on there, yo, your shit is garbage and you should probably fix it. So I just watched somebody pull up to the fucking drive-thru at this fucking Bojangles and legitimately fucking, like, just backed out and went and parked, right? Because they didn't answer the fucking drive-thru speaker. That's how fucking garbage this. I hate the South. Like, I hate it so much. Like, everybody up in the North, like, they're fucking like, we should all just move down South. You know how much nicer it is down there? Like, no, the fuck it's not. Everywhere is dirty and it smells and the people fucking suck. Like, they're all fat, lazy fucks. Like, who the fuck wants to live in the South? Like, the jobs don't pay dick. You know what I mean? Like, usually, like, if I went down south and drove truck, I'd make $800 a week compared to, like, the $1,800 I make now. I'm thinking $1,000 a week pay cut to go to fuck down south. Like, yo, fuck the South. It is garbage. I can understand why, like, these racist people, like, why, like, black people bitch about the South. Like, I get it. You know, but understand something. Everything sucks down here. It's just miserable. Like, the whole fucking place is terrible. Like, dude, you go up north, it's clean, right? Like, the fucking places are, like, I understand, like, New York City's like a dirty ass fucking, but the cities are clean compared to down south. Like, if you go into, like, the city of, like, Atlanta, it's fucking filthy. Every fucking where. The stores smell like diabetes and rotten monkey shit, right? And like fucking, you go into a store up north, it's gonna smell good, it's clean, it looks good. The people are fucking nice to you, they'll wait on you as a customer, you know what I mean? They'll give a fuck. Like these cocksuckers here, like I walked up to them and I go, hey man, do you have any of that fucking cheese dip for these chips? And they go, why you asking me? Cause you work here, bitch! That's why the fuck I'm asking you! Like you fat, sloppy, fucking chin hair having bitch! Like you're a broad with a neck beard, you fat black cunt! What the fuck is wrong with you? You got stretch marks on your fucking clothes! I fucking hate the South so much! Like, yo, all these motor scooter running around motherfuckers and shit. Goddamn fucking go-go gadget faggots. Oh, I hate this fucking place. Like, legitimately. It's fucking miserable. Yo, fuck the South. Just in general. Like, yo, fuck the South. Like, fucking giant pickup truck driving motherfuckers and shit with your Confederate flags, right? You go home to your fucking house and you got fucking boarded up windows and shit. Your fucking front grass is all just fucking dirt. The fuck is no? Get the fuck out of here. I fucking hate it. Jesus.
Keep in mind,
driving motherfuckers.
Keep in mind, Tom P is right now probably sitting in a parking lot of that same place.
Yeah.
Most likely, some Southerners overheard him, and if we don't hear from him soon, it's because he's getting lynched for being a gorilla.
Man, that wouldn't be the first fucking time. You know what I'm saying? I almost got lynched on Twitter the other fucking day, right? Because I made fun of oh, heaven forbid I tell a fucking single mom to keep her legs closed. Like, oh, for fuck's sake, all of a sudden I'm gonna get brigaded. And, yo, I literally was trending on Twitter. Like, yo, that's how hard I got fucking brigaded by undoomed people. Like, I had these conservatives just rolling my shit, and I was laughing my balls off as I accused this bitch of breeding with her brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, because, like, she's like, I have a disabled son. I was like, it's not my fault you bred with your fucking family members. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, oh my God, they're like, oh, why would you make fun of somebody's kid? I'm like, the bitch said her kid was a waterhead. It's not my fucking fault. You know what I mean?
You know what? Before we keep laughing, man, I think we got 18 people watching now, and a cadet asking you if you want some idol. I think maybe it's time for you to address the chat, Tom P. What do you think?
Address the chat, nigga. I'm not like, yo, hang on, man. Let me fucking. I actually got to open up fucking YouTube to see what the fuck is going on in the goddamn chat, because I'm not even on goddamn YouTube right now. Like, I ain't have this shit open. I'm just in fucking Discord. Oh, we got 20 people watching. You know, hell yeah. That's how the hell did we get it done out here. All right, so we got Seth Smith, what up? Kadunk, what's up, man? Fucking Golf City. Nicholas Donker, what's going on? Desert Coyote, Dark Star Mobile, Cop Cam. Hey, man, welcome, my brother. Welcome, Dark Star Mobile. You know what I'm saying? Fucking it is what it is. Please ignore me. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just saw your name, so I read it the fuck out. Sir Adamantine, my nigga. Golf City Alex Martin of Overwatch. What's up, my nigga? Apple Bite. How the fuck you doing, man? You know what I mean? It is what the fuck it is. See here. Oh, Golf City. Oh, fucking C. Thomas, Golf City Peasant. What the fuck is going on? See here. Trigger Newcast. Welcome, my brother. Fucking welcome. God damn it. Anybody else I'm missing? Let me see here. I'm looking.
There's a guy named Please Ignore Me, which you appropriately ignored, so that's good.
No, I fucking mentioned it in Calvin the Cloud. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Yo, fucking, there's a hurricane coming. I don't care. I hope the hurricane wipes the South the fuck out. Like, yo, so it never rises the fuck again. That's where the fuck I'm at right now.
Yeah, right.
Like, legitimately, like, yo, I want an ethno state to be built, and then, like, we can just drown both sides. Like, that's my mentality.
Yeah, so, like, maybe Trump can try out that whole getting rid of hurricanes with a nuke right when the hurricane's centered over Georgia.
Oh, yeah, like that way we can spread the nuclear fucking blast even fucking farther. This sounds like a good fucking idea. And I mean, I'm behind this ideology. And then what we'll do is we'll just trebuchet the fucking hurricane towards the other side of the South. It'll all work out. You know what I mean? Like, we get the Space Force involved.
If there's anything left, we'll just teleport it to California, and everything will be great.
Hell yeah. And by the way, why don't hurricanes hit California? I feel like that's where they're needed the most. You know what I mean? Like, can we prevent some earthquakes or fucking cause them with a fucking nuke by chance? And we can just wipe out Southern California? I think all of our lives would be eternally fucking better, for fuck's sake.
A nuke could absolutely cause an earthquake.
Yeah. And I mean, I know, like, yo, look, on some serious shit, Count McCloud, what up, my nigga? Right, fucking, I know that, like, legit, like, if the Foo Fighters can fucking get scaled out in a Richter scale, you know what I mean, while fucking, like, they're doing a rock concert, imagine what a nuke could do, you know what I'm saying? Like, we'll be fucking good. Like, yeah, Category 6 hurricane darts, that's what I'm saying. Fucking SoCal, we'll be good to go. Just wipe that shit directly off the fucking map. You know what I mean? They're always asking for fucking water and shit all the goddamn time. Give them lots of fucking water. You know what I mean? Just drown the bitches the fuck out. Like, fucking see some palm trees flying around, fucking picking off fucking homeless people. Get all that fucking shit and hypodermic needles cleaned off of the street. Like, turn into a giant ball, like, just hanging out in some fucking corner of fucking San Francisco. This is, yo, dude, this is a good fucking plan. Yo, the more I'm saying this, the more this sounds positive. That place needs washed.
Yep, we need to update the Trebuchet map with some hurricane icons.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, somehow, if we can just, like, redirect the fucking hurricanes, like, get some, like, hurricane tennis rackets or something and, like, fucking just hit them towards California. Like, you know, like some big-ass badminton joints and just fucking, like, or, like, a big bag and capture the clouds and fucking, like, push them that way. Individual. Some giant tarps, some B-29. We can do this as Americans. I'm telling you. Like, this can be done. We just haven't fucking, you know, put our fucking mind to it yet. And we can get some of these Silicon Valley motherfuckers to work on this plan. Like, I think it would work out. You know, everybody's talking about they're building robots and shit. Like, fucking, let's get it on the fucking
Silicon Valley motherfuckers to working on this plan. What are you talking about? This is going to be the first place where we land one of these hurricanes.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, fucking make them like the Jews in the Holocaust. Like, make them build their own shit that they're going to get killed with. Like, yo, man, oh my God, like, fuck. Jesus Christ. Anyway, so what the fuck are we doing tonight, man? We're supposed to be talking about 1619, some nonsense.
Well, yeah, I want to get to that, but did you get a chance to watch that Dave Chappelle skit in full?
Yeah, I watched the whole goddamn show. Or the whole fucking, the whole comedy special.
I swear to God, it was a declaration of war, Tom Pnoid. He wasn't even shy about it. He's like, I'm gonna get shit for saying that, and he did, right? He predicted it. He called. The irony is, you have Vice writing things about, you know, Dave Chappelle's new comedy spell can be skipped, and then the subtitle is he continues on with his transphobic blah 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 jokes. It's called Sticks and Stones. Like, is there no self-reflection here? Do you know where the name of the comedy special came from?
No.
Right?
No, they have no idea. They have no fucking clue whatsoever. They're fucking, yo, millennials are the most basic bitch motherfuckers on the whole goddamn planet, all right? They're all raised by a bunch of weak, soft, single mom fucking pussies, all right? And so they all act like single fucking mom bitches. Like, I don't know what you want me to tell you, bruh. Like, fucking it is what it is.
Hold on, all right, there, use ad block. All right, answered you, Prime Mover. Yeah, no, somebody was asking where they can watch it without Netflix and without me just saying go out to sea in a nice little ship with a pirate flag. There's other ways to watch it. But yeah, like,
man,
some of my favorite parts about that special, not trying to like spell out too much, is like he's like, what I really don't understand is those alphabet people. And he calls them, and I'm talking about the L's, the G's, the B's, and the T's.
Yeah.
I mean,
he does like the whole bit about them being in the motherfucking car and shit. Right? He said the G's is driving, you know what I'm saying? Because they're dudes.
Yeah, they're white guys. Like, we know our way around. We know our way around in these neck of the woods.
Like, we built this shit.
Yeah, we built these roads. We'll get you to where you need to go.
Yeah, and then fucking, you know what I mean, the L's is sitting over here fucking, you know, and everybody really just hates the L's. So he said everybody really likes the L's, right? And then they got the B's in the back, and the B's, like, everybody just, like, fucking looking at them all fucking funny because, like, they won't pick a goddamn side. Right?
Yeah, they're like, the G's just look at them, and they're like, there's some green motherfuckers over there.
Yeah, man, I put up the skit, like, about, or the fucking part of it where, like, he stood there and he was saying, where he said he did the impersonation of the audience, right? And he goes, if you ever do anything in your life that's wrong, we're gonna stand here and we're gonna fucking destroy you, and we will take everything that you work for. And he goes, who's that? And they go, Trump. And he goes, no, that's you. You fucking worthless motherfuckers is the worst people I ever had to entertain. Why do you think I don't even be the fuck out here doing comedy all like that?
Yeah, that's, I mean, he's touched on it in some of his past skits, but he wasn't as completely overt as to who he was targeting as he was in this special. So anyway, hats off to Dave Chappelle. I mean, a lot of some of the, the social political issues he makes fun of, he does a good job of just making it a joke. It's a funny joke, right? He's just talking about the world the way he sees it. One of the things that I think a lot of people will appreciate here is, if you want the right to choose women, I agree with it. You can have it, and I should also have the right to abandon that child.
And women were
my money, your body, your choice. My money, my choice.
Yo,
I figured you
were mad.
Yep.
Women were hot about that one, yo.
Yeah, Seth Smith. I heard about that controversy with Owen. I like Owen Benjamin a lot. I'm not gonna comment on that one. I wish Owen Benjamin had the reach. I thank him for leading that joke to Dave Chappelle.
Owen Benjamin has lost his fucking mind. All right, Owen Benjamin has lost his cotton picking fucking mind. Like, I don't know if you have been watching Owen Benjamin as of recently.
No, I have not.
But Joe Rogan slammed him the other day. He's like, yo, look. There's some of my fucking friends who are just out in the woods, fucking farming goats and chickens and shit, hopped up on fucking Adderall all day, screaming about Jews and fucking wizards and shit. Like, yo, and that's Owen Benjamin. Like, he does whole live streams where he does nothing but just bitch about Jews and wizards and like, yo, he is an overt anti-Semite piece of garbage. Legitimately.
That actually sounds hilarious to listen to, though. If I'm gonna be honest.
Revenge of the Sis covers him all the time, and they're like fucking. They got tired of it because they're like, man, this dude, he's never gonna learn. Like, cause he got smacked by YouTube, and he ended up starting this thing called Unauthorized TV with fucking goddamn it, what the hell's his name? Teddy Spaghetti. Fucking goddamn it, fucking Teddy Beal. Shit, what the fuck what's his fucking YouTube name? I forget it now. Son of a bitch. Fucking goddamn it, I forget his fucking name. But he started some shit fucking with this other dude who's just bag as shit motherfucker who like they've been trolling the fuck out of, and he pretends to be a video game maker, and he made a video called Hot Dish where you make fucking spaghetti and shit, and like he wrote books called like the Throne of Bones. Right? It's basically a Game of Thrones knockoff. Like, completely, just like basically plagiarized Game of Thrones, and he's saying that he's making new fucking books and shit. Man, listen, like, yo, Owen Benjamin is not doing well. Like, yo, he's not doing well at all.
Poor guy. Poor guy. I mean, he is kind of a boomer, man. I think the internet probably ruined him.
Yeah, Box Day. Box Day's the guy's name. Box Day.
Oh yeah, that guy. All right, I should have caught on to that one.
Yeah, Box Day, like the fucking like in Box Day is like, I'm not even a free speech advocate. Like, I don't think you should have free speech. So like, he started like they're both over here just zapping people out of their chats and shit the whole day long, and like people are just like Owen Benjamin got thrown off of Patreon and fucking PayPal. And he ended up standing here fucking having people mail him money. And so he spends his days just opening up fucking envelopes on live streams. Like fucking reading people's notes to him and shit and collecting their fucking $2. Like it's a fucking super chat. Yeah. Oh man, yo, he is not doing well. Legitimately, like, yo, fucking, we should not be banking on Owen Benjamin. I'm just saying. Like, that guy is a fucking worthless piece of shit.
Yeah, the controversy is that some of the jokes that Dave Chappelle said were remarkably similar to what Owen Benjamin did. Now, I will say that sometimes it's coincidence. A lot of the times, comedians actually do borrow some of the same tropes from people, and they kind of or the same skits from people and make it their own.
Right.
If I went back and heard it and it was exactly the same, would I put it past Dave Chappelle to just completely take credit for something a smaller comedian did? No,
well,
not exactly.
What he did was he covered a subject that Owen Benjamin covered.
Well,
right?
yeah,
like,
but he did it in a very similar manner. I think that's what we're talking about.
Like, if me and you both want to wipe out fucking the West Coast, how many ways are there to wipe out the fucking Southern California? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're probably both going to come up with the idea of nuking the San Andreas Fault. Like, you know, like that's kind of where it's at. That's gonna be the go-to for both of us. You know what I mean? So if we both do like the same fucking things because that's what we both want to say. You know what I mean? Like maybe he feels the same exact way that Owen does about some shit. You know, and like it is what it is. You know, so I'm not even really mad about fucking whatever.
It's also like I don't really see much sense in focusing on that. I don't really give a shit because what Dave Chappelle, and you know what, hands off to Netflix, right? Let's clap for Netflix for actually hosting that thing, right? Because what Dave Chappelle did was, I mean, it was Carlin-esque. Like there was some George Carlin coming out of Dave Chappelle in that skit, and I mean there always has been some, but I think this could be a pivotal point in comedy.
Let me tell you this, all right? Recently, I've had this thought in my head where I don't like George Carlin anymore.
Okay.
Like, I think George Carlin is responsible for a lot of the bullshit we're going through at the moment. You know what I'm saying? I think he is responsible for a lot of this social justice warrior bullshit.
Okay, you're gonna have to elaborate a lot on this one because I don't see the connection.
All right, so George Carlin has almost, like, if you go back and watch George Carlin, right? Go back and just watch him. His take on, like, corporatism and America and American greed and, like, all the things that fucking, like, he had gripes about in American society are almost fucking completely parroted by the left today.
Okay, wait, hold on. The only reason you're not wrong, and there's a reason we kind of, hold on. But there's a reason we talk about how in the 90s liberals were different, right? They were anti-establishment. They loved fucking free speech and dissidents and being underground and bitching about the man, whether the man was the government or some corporations or whatever bullshit was going on. I think they missed the mark on who was to really blame for, all these. Like, I don't really mind somebody getting rich because they did a good job, but we definitely have a lot of people getting rich here because they lobbied the government to get monopolistic-like powers, and now nothing can challenge them, and they can go around and basically do whatever the fuck they want. But something changed, right? Like, they lost all that dissidence, edginess. I mean, that's all on the right now. And yeah, they still bitch about how, like, corporations are the problem, and their answer is, we need a much bigger government. And Carlin always bitched about the government.
Like, you know Vash, right? Like, fucking, I was on stream. I was on stream with Vash.
He's in our chat right now.
I love Vash, right? I was on stream with him, like, last night, right? And he came out of his mouth with some George Carlin shit, right? And I had to level fucking Vash. Right? Because, like, Vash goes, oh, yeah, all these people with their fucking, my son is an honor student that blah, 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 blah. Like, remember the George Carlin bit about that, right? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, well, my kid sold drugs to your honor student. I'm like, yo, shut the fuck up, right? I'm like, shut the fuck up. First off, number one, we should be praising parents who are doing a decent job with their fucking kids and not just sending them off with no fucking, with no goddamn fucking school lunch and shit, no breakfast, and, like, actually giving a fuck about their kids' studies and driving them to do better. You know what I'm saying? Like, we should be praising those fucking parents, right? And legitimately, fucking, like, the majority of the fucking bumper stickers I see going down the fucking road are fucking parents with the autism awareness spectrum fucking stickers on the back.
Yeah.
Or fucking like all the with all this fucking bullshit. These are the problems. These fucking people are the motherfuckers who are the goddamn issue.
Yeah, so
all right, I
mean,
have respect for a parent, like, yo, because if I go to the hood, all right, like I live in the hood, I live down in the inner city, right? I'm around all the black folks, you know what I'm saying? A lot of great fucking people, amazing people, guys who work there. I'm in the working class part, like where like fucking people pay rent, you know what I mean? It's not like Section 8 and shit, right? It's a working class black neighborhood, and like. These motherfuckers have fucking bumper stickers on the back of their fucking car to say, my kid's a goddamn honor student. And fuck yes, that's great. Thank fucking God you're raising your kid right. Thank fucking God you're trying to do better with the future generation of our fucking offspring and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, because that's eternally better than these worthless piece of shit fucking parents who don't care about their fucking kids at all.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
A lot of it, I think, is just the idea of trying to be a dissident, right? So at the time, we weren't in the everybody gets a trophy mentality, right? So there was some people, like you had I mean, man, just think of like your fucking little league dads or whatever, or I don't know. I'm just trying to think of like the hyper aggressive suburban mom that a lot of people like to make fun of or whatever. That was real popular to make fun of in the 90s. I think a lot of what happened is that dissident left, they mocked it to the point that they forgot that there's actually reasons why it exists. There's actually value. Like, even I'm guilty of that. When I was younger, a lot of shit like, you know, marriage, I used to think was complete bullshit, and I still kind of do. But, like, I kind of understand why, if it's an institution where it actually means something, how that, you know, it promotes child growth. Like, there's a reason it's existed for so many years. It's beneficial to society to operate under those pretenses. And we've completely thrown that out the fucking window, right? Nobody tries to make a marriage work anymore.
Yeah. You know, and, like, and this is kind of my point, is, like, yo, all this shit started with fucking guys like George Carlin, right? Like, he put this into the popular lexicon. You know what I'm saying? Like, all this retarded ass nonsense, like, and just the in general talking shit about fucking our basic culture and society, right? Yeah. And when it came down to like the end of his life, and I'm watching the interviews in the end of his life, he said, I'll be fucking gone. Right? I don't care about any of this shit anymore. You're all going to get conquered by fucking Muslims. Right? And he knew. Like, yeah, he knew exactly what was going to happen. Right? And he didn't fucking have any remorse about all the fucking shit he did about just shit kicking the fuck out of religion and fucking culture and fucking all this shit in our society.
I don't really blame him for not having remorse. I don't think it was his job to pick up the pieces as things changed.
Yo, I feel you, right? But on the same point, like, I'm not going to worship that nigga. Yeah, well, I'm not going to worship him like a fucking god, like everybody else does. I don't worship as a god. I'm going to say he did a lot for comedy, but yeah. So we also have to remember how much we hated the fucking Christian right back then. Like, I still think like the Christian right. I mean, the Christian right took over the fucking left too. Tipper Gore, the angry, concerned house mothers. Yeah, fuck them. Right? That's what people were pissed off about. Right. I feel you. I do. But on the same point, like, as a grown man and, like, yo, living as, like, a grown adult and shit and, like, having kids, I would much prefer to live in an area that's highly religious and has more restricted views on what motherfuckers can do than to live in, you know what I'm saying, an area that just kind of, like, lets everything fly and there's junkies all over the fucking place. Like you have in places like San Francisco or fucking Brooklyn or, you know what I mean, fucking, like all these places where you find these yuppie white fucks who just want to fucking party all day and shit because, like, you know what the end result of all that is. Like, you watch your fucking friends die of overdoses. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've stood here and seen my friends' parents die of AIDS and they were fucking orphaned and shit. You know what I mean? Because that's what that lifestyle leads to. And as a society and as a culture, we shouldn't applaud that, you know what I mean? Like, fucking, like, we shouldn't stand here and go, yes, like, it's a positive thing for, like, all these homosexuals to be out here going to bathhouses and fucking the shit out of each other all the goddamn time. Like, that's not a good thing either. You know what I mean?
Right, absolutely. But part of comedy has always just been to be the extreme of whatever's dissonant, right? Right now. That's why left-wing comedy it's not funny anymore at all. Because they're not dissident anymore. They can't get extreme, because if they get extreme, they get backlash. I mean, every late night show is. Could you sit through a full episode of any of them?
Fuck no. You know what I'm saying?
That never used to be the case. Even the Daily Show, when Jon Stewart was hosting, wasn't that bad.
You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, fucking, you know, and that's I hate these fucking late night motherfuckers. And Bash says part of that was to get you fired up. Like, yeah, I bet it was. I bet now you were fucking quoting Carlin because you wanted to quote Carlin, nigga. You know what I mean? Because like you thought it'd be fucking cool. And like Tom P just fucking grabbed that motherfucker and said, "No, nigga." You know what I'm saying? And like just pulled the Hulk out on him. And I did it last night and I did it today because it's a really good fucking point to bring up. Is that when you look back at a lot of this shit, like it is not positive anymore. Like fucking like all that dissident shit was fucking cute when we were kids. Like, you know what I mean? Like, as a child, you live in a child's manner, right? And as a young man, you live in a young man's manner. But as a grown-ass fucking adult with a job and paying taxes and shit, your mentality has to fucking change. And if it doesn't, then there's something desperately wrong with your fucking mental. Like, just in general. You know, like, fuck, when I hear somebody out here, somebody, oh, man, I'm fucking, you know, I'm getting high and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, I'm like, you're a fucking bag and I don't really want you around me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really give a fuck about somebody who's out here just destroying their fucking life because they're going to be self-destructive to mine. Because if you don't care about you, you don't care about me neither. Right? Like, and that's the mentality that I have inside of my head at this age. Because I got kids to look after, I got fucking bills to pay, I got shit to do. And if I can't rely on you 100% of the time, you know what I mean? Like, motherfuckers is pretty much worthless to me. And that's not talking about niggas on the internet, but that's like real life shit. You know, and like it gets down to that level of where, because 100% of the time I have responsibilities, right? 100% of the time I got shit to lose. Like 100% of the time I got stuff to lose. Like I got guns at my motherfucking house. I got my pops staying with me. I come in the other day, my pops is banging rails off a mirror, right? And he's sitting here with this sketchy-ass fucking bitch and shit.
How is he alive?
At 63, I have no fucking idea, right? But, like, yo, I'm standing here, right? And I'm fucking going, you know what, man? Like, real shit, you know what? I need to leave at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to have to change I can't keep taking care of this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because short of, like, legitimately fucking there's not a lot I can fucking do for him no more. I need to do for me. Like, real shit, I need to do for me and mine. And that's my mentality in my fucking head. Right? Because you know what? I got guns in my fucking room. You know what I'm saying? I got guns in the house. I got motherfucking computer equipment in the house. I got money. I got silver. I got gold. You know what I'm saying? What happens you have some fucking junkie come the fuck around and find my fucking shit? What happens? What happens somebody comes in the house and you gotta lay him down with my fucking hammer because you know where it is, right? And all of a sudden now I'm losing my shit and I can't get it the fuck back. These are the mentalities that motherfuckers don't think about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you absolutely need to get the fuck out of that situation.
Right? But I'm saying though, like, yo, this is the fucking dumbass bullshit that like the left fucking brings. Like, oh man, these are just people. Like, no, these are fucking criminals, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a reason why motherfuckers don't respect junkies, and you never should. You should never respect anybody who does drugs. Look at them. If you don't do drugs, look at them as less than you. Well, that's my mentality.
Right. It's one of those things. This is some I talked to Sir Adam and Teen about on his stream one time, and he agreed with me. It's like the LGBT community, whatever, right? So,
right.
You know, as far as their rights to just exist as people and not be discriminated on legally and things like that, you know, I wasn't ever really for gay marriage. I was more against government-sponsored marriage in general. I think that's the fight they should have been fighting. and I don't really like the way they went about getting the right to get married legally, because it was basically legislating from the bench. But either way, I don't really care. I'm happy for him. That's great. Like I never was a fan of people that just wanted to bash them for who they were or call them sinners and shit. But then you have what is now the alphabet people movement, right? It is completely different than supporting the rights of individuals that choose to live those lives. It is actually about a culture, and if you, I don't have to go out on a limb to say this, because if you go to their parades, they even say it's explicitly sexual and deviant in nature, right? And so now it's not about accepting, that like, hey, I want to fuck dudes and I can fall in love with dudes. It's about, I also like to live this party lifestyle that is related to, being part of this community, and you should accept that too. Right? That's where they pushed it too far. They went over, they crossed the line there, right? It's
no, like, yo, it's no, but like, yo, since the beginning, it's always been crossed the fucking line, man. And that's the point. Like, yo, back in the fucking 70s and 80s with like the Village People and Queen and all this fucking shit, right? And Studio 54 and all the degeneracy that was going on then, right? Like, when it was fine because America was good, right? Like, because you could leave fucking your job and tell them to fuck off at 9 o'clock in the morning and have another gig by 1 o'clock in the afternoon and be making more money and be cool. That's not the situation no more. That's not the world we live in anymore. Like, you're not cool on that level, right? Like, yo, your mortgage was being eaten up by fucking interest and shit and growing fucking wages. Like, back then, American life was good. And so we had the opportunity to afford us a chance to be able to do, crazier fucking shit. But the reality is that, if times were hard back then, that degeneracy, would have ruined far more lives than it did. All them fucking drugs and AIDS and herpes and fucking all the shit that went with it, like, motherfuckers would not have been as good if the economy in our society wasn't as good as what it was then.
Yeah, and
And that's kind of the fucking deal. Like, and not only that, how about this one here, right? Like, yo, I'm gonna take it to the point of where when you bringing children to a Mother's Day fucking brunch where there's a fucking, like, a goddamn fucking trans walk and they out here fucking doing, Tu Wong Fu on the fucking catwalk and shit, and mayors of major cities is getting lap dances by fucking transsexuals and goddamn fucking outfits and shit. Like, nigga, not only are you taking it too far, at that point, you fucking should be legally criminal. And legit, something needs to be fucking done. One way or another, somebody needs to either A, be put in jail, or B, lose their life over that situation. Like, that's where the fuck that mentality is.
At the very least, this is where I'm going to go. We have to recognize destructive behavior and call it out for what it is. Right? It's like in the example I was giving, it's not that you're gay. It's that you're living a promiscuous lifestyle that's also full of alcohol and drugs, and this is going to put you in a dark place if you don't fucking change. Right? You can't hide behind your identity to dodge that, which is what these people are doing. In fact, that is the story of the left right now. They hide behind their identity to dodge any kind of criticism.
And responsibility as well.
Yeah.
It's just like, yo, females do the same thing. And females do the same shit. They want to stand here and go, oh, I'm a woman, I'm oppressed. I'm like, nigga, last night I was watching, I think it was The Basement, fucking on YouTube. And The Basement, it was a show back, like 2011, 2010, something like that. And it basically had a whole bunch of comedians just sitting around having conversations about comedy shit, social shit, their careers, their lives, right? And it was super funny. Like, fucking Patrice O'Neal was on it, Bob Saget was on it, Roseanne Barr was on it, Colin Quinn, Bill Burr, like, the list goes on. They had Tony Clifton, was in the crowd for one of them and, like, fucking did his Tony Clifton thing. I don't know if y'all know who Tony Clifton was. He was Andy Kaufman's leading act. And like at one point, it was like Andy Kaufman dressed up as Tony Clifton, right? Like you know who Andy Kaufman was, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Anybody who don't know who Andy Kaufman was? Andy Kaufman was a fucking comedic genius on a level in which nobody has ever seen before. All right, like legit, like this. Andy Kaufman was comedies, like just he was a troll before a troll. Like this dude, like he went out and wrestled women, right? And fucking like he had like a whole bit with Jerry the King Lawler, like where fucking like Jerry the King Lawler smacked him, and then like he showed up the next day in a neck brace. Like yo, there's like man, listen, like yo, he used to challenge women to wrestling matches and like fucking like cheat to win because he was like such a little small skinny Jewish fuck, right? And he dressed up as like this fat, overweight Buffalo fucking Jewish lounge singer. And he'd go out and sing like terrible songs and make racist, horrible jokes on stage and get thrown out of places and just like act like he was drunk and harass the fuck out of people. Like, yo, Tony Clifton was fucking awesome. But I was watching this John last night on fucking whatever, right? And fucking they had the broad from Roseanne, the fucking sister who was a lesbian, and fucking the chick from Sabrina the Teenage Witch. The fucking blonde with the giant hooters and shit. And like these two were talking or whatever, and fucking they had like Bill Burr and Raj something, I forget his fucking name, the fucking Indian Canadian guy, right? He's a funny guy, you know what I'm saying? And they were talking about fucking how like you know what I mean, fucking women are oppressed in America and all this other retarded ass dumb shit. And man, listen, yo, like legit, like my fucking phone ended up losing service. So I spent like the next like fucking hour and a half just screaming at my goddamn windshield, having a conversation with somebody who wasn't there preaching about this fucking dumb shit of fucking females being goddamn entitled to the whole fucking world. And like, yo, I'm so tired of us just fucking continuing to lie. Like, yo, just fucking standing there pretending and acting like everybody's goddamn oppressed. Like bitches are 54% of the goddamn electorate. They outvote dudes by like 15 million fucking votes every goddamn election. You've been running things since the fucking 40s, since the 20s. How do you think they passed prohibition, for fuck's sake? And like, yo, you are responsible for every bad thing in America over the last 100 years. You're responsible for all the fucking Jim Crow laws. Like, yo, it's you, not us. Like, you dumb broad. Like, yo, oh, you have all this surveillance shit? Oh, well, that's too bad. Maybe you shouldn't vote for fucking cocksuckers who keep wanting to go to war. Why do you do this? Because you're not the one having to go to war. Like, yo, just fucking, we need to really have an actual conversation about what the fuck is going on. Or like, and they need to hijack everything. Like, every social media network and every goddamn television station needs to be hijacked so we can fucking talk about this shit. Because it annoys the bullshit out of me. Like, yo, motherfuckers need to be explained everything. Like, yo, just fucking, like, force Americans to have a day off and just make them watch. I don't care. Like, have people with guns there, and if they don't watch, shoot them in the fucking head. They need to be fucking told the fucking truth. And it annoys me that we don't have this fucking conversation ever. Like, yo, and it's getting really fucking bad, for fuck's sake. Jesus goddamn Christ. Like,
I'm not sure what all you just said, little boy, but I'm touched.
Yeah, I don't even know, man. I don't even know where I started. I mean, it is what it is.
You saw red.
Yo, Pino. Oh, Roman, what up, man? I ain't seen you in a minute. Adam Hartz. And I mean, fucking, yo, what up, my niggas? Like, yo, fucking, you know,
oh, yeah.
we already gave him a fucking wrench. Okay.
Didn't you finally talk to that communist motherfucker that Roman wanted you to talk to?
I talked to one of his underlings, and they, like, fucking, like, kind of, like, banned me in his server and shit.
Yeah, well. Sounds like a communist.
That's how communists work. You know the situation. Like, yo, fucking communists are goddamn terrible. Like, fucking, they're just... That's why Stalin didn't get credit for any of those fucking kills, all right? Because he wasn't killing people, he was killing communists. You know, just like Mao and all them motherfuckers. Like, Hitler was the last person to commit a real genocide. Like,
because communists aren't real people, I get it.
Yeah, that's why. You know what I mean?
All right, well, I think we're about to make Pnoid a little angrier, and we'll also talk about capitalism.
we gonna get into 1619.
Yeah, you ready to get into it?
Let's do it, nigga. Let's fucking do it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
all right. So the first part of this, I'm gonna actually bring up the New York Times website, which this is something I just realized the New York Times was doing. Whoops. All right. So notice that the New York Times, the paper of record, has had to put itself behind a paywall.
Yeah.
If you sign up, you get 10 articles a month for free. Fortunately, archive.is does all the work for it. But anyway, so they have this thing called the 1619 Project, and of course, hucksters like Spike Lee are involved. But this is their intro to the series of essays that they're going to release to expose the truth about the horrors of American slavery. Because we haven't been talking about this for 180 years, right? We need the real fucking truth now. In August of 1619, a ship appeared on this horizon near Point Comfort, a coastal port in the British colony of Virginia. It carried more than 20 enslaved Africans, in a quotation about thousands of indentured servants, which we're not going to mention, who were sold to the colonists. No aspect of the country that would be formed here has been untouched by the years of slavery that followed. On the 400th anniversary of this fateful moment, it is finally time to tell our story truthfully. And that's it. That's the intro, Pnoid, right? Like, you can already see where this is going with the way they're bringing this bullshit up.
I know.
Because the African slave trade was a uniquely American thing. No, it wasn't. It wasn't at all. That's what pisses me off the most about it, and that's actually what got me on this. Kamala Harris made a tweet, Gasly retweeted it, and then Schmeckel said something that pissed me the fuck off because of how wrong it was. He was responding and kind of giving credence to the whole idea and saying, well, it was a really shitty thing that your country did. And I'm just thinking to myself, our country did. In 1619, who the fuck was questioning whether or not you could have slaves? Like, in what civilization were there people coming out saying, God, all these other civilizations that have slaves and we don't, because for some reason we don't have slaves in 1619 in a civilization. They're just completely fucking wrong. He lives in Canada.
He lives in a British colony.
Yeah, Canada had slaves too, right? Like, or the would-be Canadians did.
Yo,
right?
Like,
in fact, not only
British
that, the indigenous people had slaves, right? This was a global institution, right? From Aristotle to the fucking Bible to, I mean, up until basically the 1700s.
Long before that.
Yeah, long before that. Like,
thing, like long before that. You know what I'm saying?
From Sumeria till somewhere in the 1800s, slavery was the norm. Right?
Yeah.
Everybody knew
and
it sucked.
And it's still the fucking norm in some countries.
Yeah, everybody knew it sucked to be a slave back then. Just nobody ever questioned whether or not, like, it was okay. And if you did...
The word Slavic means slave.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yo, they don't... Look, all right? In Africa, the vast majority of all things built in Africa before the 1800s were built by the Arabians, all right? By people from, like, Persia and fucking, Sumer and all these goddamn places and shit, right? The reason they were built was because they were port cities where they collect up slaves and ship them to fucking Arabia. And China did the same fucking thing. All right? This was not a new phenomenon when white people took African slaves. We were buying them off of Arabian dealers in fucking Africa.
Yeah, or African dealers in Africa. Right?
Well, the vast majority of them were Arabians.
Yeah, I know, but there was plenty of native Nigerians that took part as well.
Like, I'm 95% sure, Europe, when did Europe actually fucking, like, start having colonies in fucking fucking Africa. Like, I'm pretty sure it was it was late in the game. Like, fucking when did fucking Europe fucking actually show up? When did Europe colonize Africa? Like what year did that fucking start? Because I know 1900, by 1900, much of Africa had been colonized by 7 European Africa. Hang on, man. Let me look at actually see when the fuck that shit started.
Some shit happened. No, I got it. So some shit happened in medieval times.
In Africa, no. Like,
no,
legitimately, like, they left and never came back to Africa until, like...
Yeah, no, I'm saying... hold on. I said some shit happened in medieval times, and that was North Africa. Okay? So, whatever. We don't care about that.
That was Egypt.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at, like, 1885.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, yo, this is the bitch. Is like, their timelines are completely fucking retarded. Like, it's patently fucking wrong. You know what I mean? Like, that's legitimately what, like, the whole thing is fucking wrong. Like, well, you know what I mean? Fucking the Castilian conquest. Hang on, wait. The Canary Islands for European fucking angle. I'm fucking looking. 1815. You know what I mean? Like, yo, this is what I'm saying. Like, Europeans didn't even go to fucking Africa like that before the goddamn 1800s. On some serious shit. The majority of slaves, black slaves we got, were from Arabian fucking dealers.
Well, yeah, in
North fucking Africa.
Both, whatever, the trade in the Northern Channel, both Britain and America both ended that in the the early 1800s. We're talking like the 1801 and 1807, I think. The only reason I know this is Tom Woods just released an episode and he talked about this. So I got the numbers pretty close, I think. I'm not very good at those things. But I do know the general thing about history, the history of this. And out of the 14 million or so slaves, even Wikipedia will tell you that only about 5% of those, or 14 million Africans that were slaved during the African slave trade, only about 5% of those went to the would-be United States. In fact, many more, about 35%, went to the Spanish in Brazil. Yet nobody's sitting here talking about how Brazil was founded on slavery. Because they're not wealthy and successful.
They still have fun. They didn't even get rid of slavery, I think, until like fucking like 1950 or some shit like that. Yo, it was really late in the game when they got rid of fucking slavery in fucking Brazil. And I think they still have like 30,000 slaves today in motherfucking Brazil at the goddamn moment.
Well, yeah, I mean, maybe, right? It's probably not legally, because I know Brazil is supposed to be a second world nation. But yeah, I mean, slavery hasn't ended. It still exists in the world today. Somebody commented, yeah, the Outlaw Torn says, it still exists, but nobody wants to have that conversation. Fucking Saudi Arabia didn't officially ban slavery, or at least legally, facially ban slavery, until 1970. And yet we're talking about how America is this unique evil that was founded on slavery. It's complete fucking nonsense. It's telling history in this reverse fashion where it is really easy for somebody today to say, God, slavery is wrong, and all those people back then were just super backwards, and I can't believe them. They should be ashamed of themselves. That's easy to say now. It's popular opinion. There's no support for slavery in the United States, right? I mean, yeah, you might find the one crank, but you have no political support for that whatsoever. I'm almost certain that 99.9% of these people that have to virtue signal about the wrongs of slavery, if they existed back then, they wouldn't have said a goddamn fucking word, because that was popular opinion. People were defending it left and right. If you were a dissident that actually came out and opposed slavery in 1619, you were berated by society and sometimes violently attacked for your opinions. I think most of these people are too big of pussies to have said something if they grew up in the same times. They probably just would have went along with it. They probably wouldn't even thought twice about it.
Yeah, I'm looking at this fucking map right? Here's a map of the world in 1754, right? Like, I'm gonna send this shit to you, right? Fucking because like I think it's important that you fucking like see it and everybody else can see what the fuck is going on, right? Like there was legitimately almost no land that fucking these motherfuckers actually owned on some serious shit. Like there was barely any goddamn colonies in fucking North America here. Fucking, I just sent you a goddamn picture. Fucking right, like yo, there was barely any goddamn colonies in fucking Africa in the fucking 1760s and shit. Legitimately, and there was none in the 1500s. So like, you're gonna stand here and tell me like, yo, fucking America started in 1619 with the fucking slave trade? Really? Like honestly, like yo, America didn't start until it was no longer part of another fucking nation that rooted 3,000 fucking miles away.
Yeah, and
yo, within like fucking 60 years, we ended fucking slavery.
Yeah, something that had existed for at least 3,000 years before the United States was ever a thing. After 60 years, we were done with it.
The majority of northern fucking states had already banned it.
Yeah, I mean, it was something they were already talking about, and it was actually a feature of the ideas behind the American founding that ended this, right? It was Enlightenment ideas. You look at the writings, even of Robert E. Lee, who fought for the Confederacy. He looked at slavery as something that has to end eventually.
Yeah. And slavery legitimately, like, yo, the vast majority of fucking slaves that came in late in the fucking game, in the United States as far as shit was concerned, because slaves were an expensive fucking thing to have and didn't have a whole lot of productive value.
Yeah,
like a lot of people don't know that. Like fucking, like the vast majority of them went for tobacco, not cotton, like everybody thinks.
Yep, that's
like,
where it started. Was the tobaccos?
And like fucking cotton. Yeah, and cotton legit, like fucking until the fucking cotton gin was invented, because like, all right, so in order to make a pound of fucking cotton, like it took a slave an entire day to make that shit. Right, to pick all the fucking seeds out of the goddamn cotton, and another slave to go pick enough fucking cotton to make a goddamn pound. Right, so they had to go through and like sort all this fucking cotton, and you had to fucking feed, clothe, and house and shelter all your fucking slaves. Right, it's like owning like fucking a shit ton of goddamn dogs so that you can like start a manure farm, like or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like yo, it's not a useful proposition until the cotton gin came along with separated seeds from fucking cotton, and you know what I mean, industrialized the whole process. And then they needed fuck tons of goddamn slaves. And by that point, they banned slavery and started doing fucking industrial fucking work and having actual machinery to do all this shit and not have to go through having people pick the fucking cotton.
Yeah,
and at that point, they were producing so much cotton with the cotton bin, they could just pay people to fucking do it.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Is for the price of slavery. The idea that they wouldn't have gotten better returns from just paying people wages is absolute. I mean, it's unfounded. Like, if you would have just paid people wages, especially back then, for what slaves got, there were plenty of people that were going to come to America. I mean, there's a reason so many people signed up for indentured servitude, because they were just like, well, it's better than what I got going on here right now. So sign me up. I will sign away my freedom for 7 fucking years. Get treated like absolute shit. Not even be considered a long-term investment, and in some places be treated worse than the actual slaves, just for the chance of having some kind of freedom in a new place 7 years later.
And the indentured servants were treated way worse than slaves. A lot of people don't know this shit. Because you know what? You had 20 years or 15 years or 5 or 10 years, whatever the fucking contract was on that shit. And they tried to get as much use out of you as possible in that amount of fucking time.
Well, yeah.
All right? Whereas the slaves, like, you know, like the vast majority, like, or not the vast, like, a bunch of them got to live in a house and be maids, you know what I mean, fuck all this type of shit. And I'm not saying slavery is a good fucking thing in any way, shape, or form. Am I fucking saying this?
Yeah, they might have gotten the shit beaten out of them, like some may have, right? They lived in garbage conditions, got raped and stuff, but they got 3 meals a day and shelter to make sure that they stayed alive, which... I'm going to be real, like, people forget, man, if you lived in the 16 and 1700s, 1800s even, it wasn't until the 1900s that life became anything close to how we're used to living it. the vast majority of the population, regardless if you were a slave or just a private citizen, the vast majority of people, their life was work hard from the time the sun comes up to the time the sun goes down, just to get the basic necessities to survive, and do that for your entire life until you finally roll over and die. That was the standard of living.
The vast majority of people before the year 1900 who lived in America lived on $1 a day. $1 a day in today's money. All right? We're talking about they lived like Ethiopians. 60% of the fucking people in the South up until like the 1990s had hookworm in their fucking feet. All right? This is some shit that they don't talk about. The vast, like the 1% of the population owned fucking slaves at the peak of slavery. All right?
Yeah, 1 to 2%.
Yeah, the rest of the white people in the fucking South.
It was 2% in the South.
Hated slaves. They hated the rest of the white people in the South hated slaves and hated slavery. All right? And the reasons why they did is because they took away their ability to earn a living. Because they would loan their slaves out for fucking artisan work and shit. And like they'd be able to undercut like regular fucking contractors and people who did roofing. This is why I bitch about Mexicans all the fucking time. Why? Because it takes away the ability of fucking normal fucking workers to earn a living. People don't understand any of these things. They're all facts. All right? These are all basic facts about shit. But nobody talks about any of this shit at all. Okay? Slavery is terrible. That's why the Chinese goods thing, legitimately, like fucking, it's an awful thing for Americans. Why? Because Americans aren't earning the money. And when you create a product and somebody buys that product, you earn the fucking money. But if you're not building the product, you're not earning any money, you're just buying it off the debt. And that's the problem we're running into right now. And I understand like our debt spread throughout the fucking world in this fiat currency system and all the bullshit, which is horrid and allows our fucking government to be able to print money at fucking random and not have to pay for things and tax individuals so that people don't have responsibilities for their fucking decisions and what the hell our actual policymakers do. But like, yo, there's a lot of problems in America, but the majority of it is because of fucking slavery. The problems are because of slavery. And because of things because of we stand in here being lazy fucks and allowing other individuals and becoming too coddled and not having the fucking responsibility for our fucking actions. Okay? Yes, slavery was a bad thing, but not for the reasons that these retards are saying.
Yeah.
Okay? It's because of the fact that it literally today is the reason why the South is still fucked.
Yeah, you know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. So I have that article I sent you earlier. I'm gonna try to go through it as fast as possible so we can have plenty of room for comment, because a lot of the shit this guy's trying to say relates directly to what you're talking about right now. Right? About how wrong he is as to what the problem really was.
I know. I already know. I read it. I read the fucking article.
Yeah, right? I know. This is why I wanted to cover it. And there's gonna be more of these essays coming out, and
this is a bunch of different essays in this article. It's not just one person. Like, it's a bunch of different people and shit.
Well, so this is one in particular that I had from Archive IS. It's supposed to be one essay, but so I titled the stream "It's Socialist Propaganda." So it really is. So what they're trying to do is use this as an excuse, and you can see it. The first article they have in the 1619 Project about slavery isn't talking about the brutality of slavery itself. This is titled, "In order to understand the brutality of American capitalism, you have to start on the plantation." Right? Immediately, the first article on the list of the 1619 Project is an attack on capitalism, not slavery. And let's keep in mind, capitalism also requires consent. In fact, I don't think there's anything more anti-classical liberal capitalism than the idea that some people can be owned as property. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, like, yo, fucking, they're gonna stand here and try to attack capitalism. And the reason why these people are attacking capitalism is, well, number one, because they're spoiled fucking brats, and number two, because they can't compete. And they don't want to compete. They don't want to stand here and have to worry about coming up against a dude like you or me who are willing to dig down and do what we got to do to get by. You know what I mean? They don't want to have to fucking stand here and grind hard to get through because they go, oh, competition is bad. I should just be given everything in fucking life. Because they were raised by women who think that's the fucking case.
Yeah,
and women are right. Women should be given everything in life. All right? Because, like, yo, that's what you do for a woman. You stand here and you take care of her and you put her in a house and you make sure she has enough food for fucking her and the goddamn baby. And that's a social goddamn construct. But the thing is, you can't have men thinking this way. This is why women weren't supposed to speak in public. This is why fucking dudes were the only ones allowed to speak in fucking public. This is why. Because when you start having these ridiculous, retarded ideas put out in front of us, it moves everybody backwards and makes everyone feel like a fucking victim. This is fucking dumb. It's the stupidest shit ever. Like, yo, for fuck's sake. Jesus goddamn Christ.
All right, I'm gonna go.
Fucking beer. And I gotta fucking work in like fucking an hour. There's beer in this fucking store too because I'm down south. That's the only thing the South has that I fucking like. That they sell beer everywhere. And we can only buy beer at a beer distributor or a fucking bar.
You want to go grab a deuce, man? I'll put on some music for a break.
No.
All right.
No, I have to fucking drive. Like once I'm done with this, I'm leaving. I have to fucking go somewhere and fucking go try and pick up a load that's probably not gonna be fucking ready.
This is where I'm gonna go fast. So,
go ahead.
First paragraph. A couple of years before he was convicted of security fraud, Martin Sherlinky was the chief executive of a pharmaceutical company that acquired the rights to Daraprim, a life-saving anti-parasitic drug. Previously, the drug cost $13.50 a pill, but in Sherlinky's hands, the price quickly increased by a factor of 56 to $750 a pill. At a healthcare conference, Sherlinky told the audience that he should have raised the price even higher. No one wants to say it, no one's proud of it, he explained, but this is a capitalist society, a capitalist system, and capitalist rules. So here, we're going to avoid real quick that this story is mistold. We're going to not talk about Sherlinky, and we're not going to talk about how the pharmaceutical industry is one of the most heavily fucking regulated industries on the planet and does not operate by laissez-faire rules.
Well, let's have this conversation here, right? The reasons why our fucking prescriptions are so goddamn expensive in this country is because we subsidize everybody else's prescriptions.
Yeah, that's part of the reason. Yes, it's like I said, this is far from a laissez-faire example of what would happen in a free market of people trying to sell prescription drugs.
Like, Americans subsidize everybody else's shit in the whole world for like fucking defense. Like, everybody's like, oh man, you know, fucking we got NATO. No, the United States provides NATO for the rest of the fucking world. All those nukes that Europe has, they're ours. The nukes that Israel has are ours. Like, yo, fucking all these goddamn fucking boats and tanks and troops and shit that Europe has, guess what? Ours. Nigga, we subsidize everybody else's shit. All the medication and all this shit that fucking Europe has, guess what? Yo, it's all American medication. All right, and then once the copyright dies, like they stand here, well, they pay like $20 a fucking pill, but we pay like fucking $150 because the rest of them aren't paying their fucking fair goddamn share because we have to negotiate with governments.
And we're also passing it off to like third-party insurance companies that we can only get through our employers. Cause it's just not the way our system was set up, which is far from a laissez-faire system. I do want to keep going because I'm sorry, man, the pharmaceutical industry, that's a whole nother stream. We've talked about it here and there on this channel. I don't think we've ever done a deep dive dedication to it. Anyway, so this is a capitalistic society. It's a fatalistic mantra that seems to get what I can hear myself. What is going on?
Hang on.
Okay, it's not me. All right, great. It's a fatalistic mantra that seems to get repeated to anyone who questions why America can't be more fair or equal. But around the world, there are many types of capitalist societies, ranging from liberating to exploitive, protective to abusive, democratic to unregulated. Which that sentence right there just explains you don't really understand what capitalism entails. Anyway, when Americans declare that we live in a capitalist society, as a real estate mogul told the Miami Herald last year when explaining his feelings about small business owners being evicted from their little Haiti storefronts, what they're often defending is our nation's peculiar brutal economy, low-road capitalism. The University of Wisconsin-Madison sociologist Joel Rogers has called it, in a capitalist society that goes low, wages are depressed as businesses compete over the price, not the quality of goods. So-called unskilled workers are typically incentivized through punishments, not promotions. Inequality reigns and poverty spreads. In the United States, the richest 1% of Americans own 40% of the country's wealth, while a larger share of working-age people 18 to 65 live in poverty than in any other nation belonging to the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD. That is bullshit. In fact, everything I just read was complete bullshit. So, of course, this is a sociologist, not an economist, right?
Yeah.
Because... what is it? 4 out of 5 fucking people in sociology departments openly identify as Marxist. Yeah, so
sociologists don't do math.
Yeah.
All right, they don't understand math. They don't fucking get math. They they don't understand economies. They don't understand how anything operates inside of an economy. You know, they don't understand capitalism. You know, the problem is that the capitalist structure that we have at current is broken. Like, this is what we went over in my last live stream. Everybody who was there, everybody who watched the video understands exactly what the situation is. Our system is broken. We need some new code written on top of this fucking hardware that we have. Like, that's the issue at the fucking moment. Number one. Number two, the other half is we have a libertarian ideology in a society that is literally made for, families to be the fucking core structure of it and communities to be the core structure of our fucking society. And we have neglected the family and the fucking community in order to stand here and be able to fucking pay for things like fucking retirement, right?
Right.
And
well,
have this libertarian ideology be on the top most of things.
So I don't think this libertarian ideology is mutually exclusive with what you're talking about. I think that
no. It is. It's the mentality that every individual is a complete individual, right? And so, like, their retirement should be paid for by themselves. And that ideology, what they did was they stood here and they had all this money put into the stock market for 401ks and pensions and all these type of things, and through like mutual funds and all that shit and hedge funds, and so that they could buy all this shit and be able to pay for things later on. Well, once the fucking stock market started collapsing and crashing, and they found out that they don't have enough fucking money to pay for any of this fucking shit, and that their retirement isn't going to be able to be paid for, like, the whole structure is starting to fucking collapse and crack under its own fucking weight.
Yeah, well, so a lot of the problem I have with that is any pure-hearted libertarian like the Peter Schiffs of the world will point out exactly what I'm going to point out. Is what you're talking about, though, there's a lot of government fiat involved there, right? It's not just... So the libertarian society, it's not necessarily that, like, yes, okay, so the government should judge you as an individual or whatever. It says nothing about the value of understanding community, right? I think all these things could be handled privately if we had to, because we know it's important. And I think people would do it. I really do. Like, people wouldn't vote for it and then not do it as well. You might have some freeloaders or whatever, but those people are going to be shamed. Like, I think there's a lot to be said about society organizing itself, rather than this top-down system of forcing everything upon us, because a lot of times they fuck it up, right? Just like the housing bubble was, 100% caused by government. There's no reason to believe it wasn't caused by government. And the whole idea of we're going to give poor people houses fucked everything up for, well, should have been a couple years, but because we elected Obama for like 8 to 9 years, it was shit. Anyway.
Okay, hang on. Wait. I gotta address Blue Collar Canuck, all right? So the reason why they jack up one fucking pill by that much, all right, let me explain this to you in the best way I know how. We're gonna use an analogy, all right? And it's like a PlayStation, okay? Very simple. PlayStation, what they do is they have the PlayStation come out and they lose money on every PlayStation they sell, okay? But imagine, all right, if all the PlayStations sold just to people in, say, California, all right, were full price. And then they ended up having all the PlayStations in the rest of the country get sold for, I don't know, like fucking $20 or $30, right? By the time they would be able to make their money back, they would either A, go fucking bankrupt, or B, have to jack the prices of the California PlayStations up to the point of where they would stand here and fucking have the PlayStations be like 6 or 7 times as much as they are right now, in order to make their money back up for R&D, manufacturing, shipping, fucking, you know what I mean, new product placements, all these fucking licenses that they have to have, you know what I mean, the government inspections and all the bullshit, right? And that's kind of the situation. Roman, you can always join anytime you want, man. Fucking hop in the Discord, right? Fucking, and so that's what we're doing with the rest of the world with these fucking pills. But the bitch is that the pills only have copyright station where, you know, this is, you know, if you want to play PlayStation, you know what I'm saying, they're gonna fucking stand here and have you know, if you're gonna play PlayStation, it's gonna be on that fucking system. If that's what you like, if that's your fucking thing, because people are loyal to that fucking brand. All right, and nobody else is allowed to create, you know what I'm saying, fucking a PlayStation, but fucking Sony. Okay. But you know what I mean, like you still have other you still have other competitors and other things like Xbox or fucking whatever, you know what I mean? But with the pills, there's only one person that can make that fucking pill through that goddamn monopoly for the first 5 years. And that's fine, because then they get to make their money back. But the bitch is, in order to make their money back, because the rest of the world's only paying $20 a pill, like our pills would be like fucking a quarter of the price or a third or like a fucking, I mean, a 16th of the price they are right now. If we could charge the rest of the world the actual cost of what it is to be able to fucking stand here and fucking, you know what I mean, actually manufacture these fucking, and actually make the pills. That's the real fucking problem. You know what I'm saying? Is the fact that we are subsidizing the rest of the world's fucking medication when we buy ours.
All right. So I wanted to go through the rest of this article, but whenever you told me to go to the Discord, we got a line. So I'm gonna drag Callan down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Callan, man, what's up?
Not much.
What up, nigga? Like, yo, I think he just wants to hang out. Yo, what up, man? You got some shit to say. These other niggas got some shit to say.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You got some shit to say. If you just want to hang out, you can say you just want to hang out. I won't kick you out.
I just got shit to say. Hold on.
What?
Did you hear about the that shit there about the vendor kid that with the health inspector got treated like shit?
Yeah, man, I read your Twitter post. I commented on it.
Yeah, but
did you see my comment? And do you know the movie Belly? Do you know the movie Belly?
Yeah.
Like, yo, the person who fucking reported them was like, I'm gonna drop dimes on this nigga right here.
So anyway,
that monkey face.
I started reading the whole thing, the full story about it. Well, what happened was the kid was making good money, and the guy that ratted on him was a freaking New York City liberal that got pissed about how he was making more money than he was, and he called the health inspector up too. What happened was the kid was rubbing in his, because he didn't like the food, and the kid told him, if you don't like the food, buy it someplace else. So what he did was he called up the company and health inspector said, hey, you should pay attention to this kid because he's scamming people. So what happened was the health inspector came up to see him, and he found out that he didn't have hand sanitizer cleaner, or the hot dog the slow cooker wasn't working right, all the other shit. And what they did was they helped the kid out to make a new stand for him, so he could sell hot dogs. And the guy came back and he started doing it again for the second time, and they don't know why he's doing it.
Well, yeah, it's the basic of I'm a drop dime on this nigga because he's getting more shine than me right now. That's what that is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, legitimately, that's the situation. That's the haters ball mentality. You know what I mean? Like, you ever watch the haters ball joint with Dave Chappelle? He's saying he called in a bomb threat to the Special Olympics because they was getting more attention than him. Like, yo, that's the situation. You know what I'm saying? It's like he called. Yeah, that's what the deal was with that shit, man. Like, motherfuckers. Look, legitimately, people will drop dimes on niggas if they're fucking doing better than them. You know what I mean? Like, jealousy is a motherfucker. Like, it is what it is. All right, who's the next nigga in the goddamn line?
All right, I'm gonna drag memes and Roman down, and I'm gonna piss. So, have fun.
All right.
Yeah, I was like, when I was read it, I was like, am I reading this right? And then I started reading the full thing, and I'm like, this is so fucking shit.
Alright, yo, memes, what up, nigga?
Hey guys, what's going on? How we all doing? When are you gonna be back in the Boston area?
Man, I'm in South Boston, goddamn fucking Virginia right now, believe it or not.
Oh no.
Oh.
You're
I'm talking about North Mass, Boston, or
no.
Central East Mass, the harbor. I was gonna say, because any of our friends that may be out there, hashtag shill alert. But if anyone's in the greater Boston area, this upcoming Saturday, there's going to be a couple of events. We have the Straight Pride Parade that will be taking place.
That's awesome.
We are also going to be having the Let's Take Back Our Pride event. And I managed to get clearance with the city to put on a third event, the Rally to Restore Sanity and/or Turtles.
Okay, turtles are always awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were having fun last night in a Discord hangout, fucking talking about goddamn fucking what stars you would like to see in like what roles. You know what I'm saying? And one of the roles we came up with is that we would like to see Nicolas Cage play one of the Ninja Turtles. Right.
That would actually be awesome. He would actually make a great turtle. I think we should promote this idea.
The stoner turtle, like the rejected Ninja Turtle.
I want Matt Damon as Donatello.
Matt Damon is Donatello. Like, yo, fuck yes. Like,
Nick Cage can have Leonardo.
Norris as winner.
Keanu Reeves can be Michelangelo, dude. He's gonna have to like bring out some of his old Bill and Ted.
Speaking of Bill,
and we decided that Jackie Chan would play Wolverine. I do believe. Like, yo,
he was on TV talking about the last Bill and Ted movie they're doing, and they said he's not doing any more after this video.
That's it.
Rock on. All right, so Roman, what you want to talk about, nigga? Roman. Yeah, Roman.
His mic's off.
You called him a nigga, so you probably got offended.
I don't know. I know Roman's like a remote commie, you know what I'm saying? But like, we love him around here anyway. We love all of our fucking fans and subs and people who show up to the chat.
Like, did we bring it? Like, yeah, he randomly was like searching for streams to troll, and then he accidentally found the Church of Jesus Christ was not a bitch made nigga.
Yeah, and he liked it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this fucking place is awesome. I'm like, yo, fuck yeah. You know what I mean? Yo, free speech, they can do your thing. Whatever you want to say, you can say. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I clapped somebody up in the Discord. You know what I'm saying? I made a new role in the Discord. Fucking cancer people, right? Fucking, like, I'm just like, yo, everybody who like legitimately like likes to talk a whole lot of retarded ass nonsense for no fucking reason, like, getting put as a goddamn cancer. Like, I'm tired. Like, I'm like, yo, because I'm sick of like shitty trolls. You know what I mean? Like, if you're a good troll, like, I like you, but if you're just like a garbage ass troll and like you just want to like say dumb shit all the fucking time and like you're not like being like original,
smart
you know what I mean? Yeah, like, if you're not being like original and interesting. Like, fuck you. Like, yo, I'm gonna shut your dumb ass the fuck up.
At least give us something to talk about, like the time Golden Bonnie was wasted out of his fucking mind and brought him in. I was sitting there like, whoa, everybody chill out. I'm just really happy for the first time on Pnoid Live to not be the most drunk person on stream. Let me have this. Let me have this one.
Exactly. Like, that's legitimately my mentality. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna do something and be a troll and be a piece of shit, like, fucking be an interesting piece of shit.
You off? They were talking about how non-binary people should have jobs. And I'm like, people do get jobs already. What the fuck are you talking about? And I had to look it in, and they say that non-binary is less to get a job than regular gay and straight people.
You know what? I think there's a reason for that, because those, like in the Dave Chappelle skit, right? Those are the cues, right? They come around, they don't know what the fuck's going on, and I think that comes off in the job interview.
Well, like here's the problem. Like, if you can tell when somebody's gonna be a headache, you know what I mean? Like, fucking when you look at a motherfucker and you go, this guy here is gonna be a pain in the ass. You know what I mean? And you don't hire that motherfucker. Like, because if you have the look of, I'm gonna sue you for fucking saying the wrong thing to me, you're probably not gonna get the job. Like, that is what it is. Like, how about you stop having that resting bitch face look all the goddamn time? Like, take those gauges out of your fucking ears and, like, sew them bitches back up where they goddamn belong. You know what I mean? Fucking, like, grow your hair out or cut it, whichever one it is that would match with your fucking gender.
Wait. Hold on real quick. Roman, talk to us.
Oh, yeah, I'm alive.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay. There we go.
What you want to talk about, Roman?
I have nothing to talk about. Like, I'm not gonna say anything unless I have something to talk about. Like, I don't like talking.
Well, you said you wanted to fucking join the chat.
You wanted to join.
Come in and join the chat.
Right, we were just talking about the whole slavery issue and how the 1619 Project is talking about how America was built on slavery, and they talk about how these 20 African slaves that showed up in 1619 led to essay number 1, the brutality of American capitalism. You have no comment on any of that?
None. Like, unless I have something to say about it, I won't. Like, I will, but right now I have nothing to say at all.
Yeah, why did you join it? Why did you want to join the chat, man? You could always, like, anytime you want to fucking speak about shit, you can say it. And you asked, and I was like, yo, come have a conversation.
Do you want me to read more of the article? Maybe stimulate your desire to talk?
Do you have to, in order to be in this chat, or like this server, do you have to keep on talking?
I think you want to be included.
Honestly, we thought that you had something to say to us. That's why we thought you wanted to join. If you don't have anything to say, we don't necessarily. If you just want to hang out, like I'm not going to kick you out, man. The only people I kick out are like people like when Neffel joins and he won't shut the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not gonna...
I'm sorry, Neffel, if you're out there listening, dude, I love you, but sometimes you get too hyped up and you just start screaming over everybody.
or you start talking about, like, fucking worshiping some fucking gods and giving sacrifices.
Which is appropriate when we were talking about, what was that motherfucker that you were telling me about that was talking about all those...
of Judah.
Yeah. Which was completely appropriate. You were a perfect guest for that show to talk about those things. But like on a normal basis, we don't need a tangent about how this whole thing 1619 is the number of something Masons, the devil, secret societies, cultist spells, and sigils.
He's like, what these people? These are wizards, y'all. Right, that's Owen Benjamin right there.
I like wizards.
Yo, have you watched? Anybody watches Revenge? You don't need to watch Revenge of the Sith, like when they do Owen Benjamin joints. Like, fucking, that's Owen Benjamin's new thing. Like, fucking, he just comes out and he goes, guys, they're wizards, guys. That's what they're doing right now. They're conducting wizardry. Yo, Owen.
The sad thing is he wrong? Because that's what when I met Professor Peterson, because I shelled out the extra $40, I went up to him and I'm like, he's like, asked me my name. I'm like, Professor Peterson. And I told him, I think you're a pretty good wizard. He's like, oh, that's quite the compliment. And I'm like, a wizard is a person who changes the world around them via verbal and semantic components, i.e. their words and actions. Then he put his arm around me, we took the photo, and we parted our ways.
I don't know, man, but I've always had suspicions that the Harry Potter novels, I've always had suspicions that they were actually nonfiction, so.
Yeah, man, y'all worry about the muggles and shit, or some shit. Like, yo, my fucking kids made me watch that Fantastic Beast movie and shit. Like, and that was awful. I'll be honest with you.
It was pretty good-ish.
No.
Way to dissent memes. No, actually, I thought it was a no. Yeah, I thought it was a great. There we go. We actually are probably going to agree on this. It was a great movie when I was hungover on a Sunday to just throw on because I haven't seen it yet and fall asleep to. I had no issue. It was a great. I fell asleep, no problem. Woke up and I was like, good movie.
It's the same bitch that made 50 Shades of Grey. Just letting you know.
By the way, I watched fucking Invader Zim. that new fucking hour-long special they have on Netflix? Yo, Invader Zim was not made for like an hour-long thing. Like, it's supposed to be like fucking 20 minutes, right? Like, it'll cut up with commercials and shit. That way, it's like faster paced.
Are you saying like after 20 minutes you got bored?
Yes, I started fast forwarding. Like, you start hitting that plus 10, plus 10, plus... Get to a fucking point. Plus 10, plus 10, plus 10. Get to a fucking point. Like, yo, it was just so slow. Like, it drugged so hard. I'm like, man, listen, like, maybe I have ADHD, but, like, I don't know. Right. Like, I feel like that shit just was, like, spread out for no reason whatsoever.
We got two people in the chat that wants TFM in here. I'll tell you what. We reach out to TFM.
Look, we're not getting TFM in here right now. No, we're not doing TFM right now.
I say now. Yeah, hold on. This is what I said. Like, we reach out to TFM sparingly, very sparingly, and we have got nothing but love for that guy. And the last time he was on, it was great for us. Don't think it was great for him, but goddamn, we're being tough. Laugh our ass off.
That was with the guy that was talking at 1.5 speed, right?
That's when Cam. Yeah, well, Cam's mind runs at 1,000 miles per hour, and he's actually incredibly intelligent. So, he wouldn't back in.
Listening to that, and it just kept going, and I'm like, I have to turn this off. My mind needs to stop.
but anyway, like, if you guys tell him to come to our call-ins, I'm not going to not drag him in, but man, I'm not going to bother TFM right now, right?
You're fucking right. Yeah, we're about done anyway. We only got 20 minutes left. You know, like, that's kind of the mentality. I got 20 minutes left.
Yeah, TFM gets mad when we do a full fucking 90-minute stream because I think that's a good time for a stream when he's on it, and then we say, all right, well, we got to end this shit because we have shit to do, because he wants to stream for like 5 or 6 hours straight.
But he needs to be thorough.
Please, Applebite, do not bother the Monkey Lord to come in and talk for 20 minutes. Please, just don't.
He's cool, man. Let TFM be right now. All right, just let him be for the second. He's cool. Like, me and him talked this week. All right, believe it or not, like, we talk. You know what I'm saying? We had a conversation just this week. You know what I mean, about fucking the thoughts in space. Right, the broad in the International Space Station who got in trouble for breaking into her fucking ex-husband's bank account and shit from the International Space Station.
Times in space.
I still try to figure that one out, though. That's kind of weird.
Plus, like, Pnoid Live is more dick and fart jokes than it is, like, highbrow humor over serious issues.
You guys work in, like, stuff and things that are intellectual.
Yeah, no, we do. We go back and forth. It's
like, yo, we do intelligent shit, but like a lot of it's me just zapping out and being retarded. You know what I mean? And that's kind of my stick. Like, but fuck it, on the same point, like, it's not like Pnoid Live is kind of not really made for, you know, hyper intelligent fucking long form debates. Because, like, halfway through, I go, well, you know, we should just put trebuchets around the United States and, like, send niggas into the ocean.
That's it. And we go off on those tangents like that, man. That's what we do here. That's why I think, you know what? We don't get the biggest audience on the planet. And part of that's because YouTube censors us, but it's loyal, right?
Yo, YouTube censors the bejesus out of me.
You guys get demonetized again, didn't you? Because I looked.
No, he's been demonetized since he was only monetized for 4 days in his entire YouTube career. Let's just go.
No. I thought you had it, you lost it, you got it back, and then you lost after 4 days. Again.
No, never had it. We only had it for 4 days. In fact, I go to the channel info now, and it says your channel is not eligible for monetization. And then you click on it, and it doesn't say you are permanently demonetized, but it says if your channel's in good standing for so long, let's do blah 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 blah. I think part of the issue is that you keep getting strikes for old fucking videos, or the latest one, which I thought was hilarious because you were glorifying violence, when you explicitly said in multiple timestamps that this shit's retarded, this violence is ridiculous, like we shouldn't be doing this. And the only thing you potentially did is say the concerns of people like this guy, like, they're not necessarily invalid. Like, we gotta take it seriously. Like, you gotta give them an argument instead of just saying you're a racist piece of shit.
Well, this is the interesting thing because you'll see like a lot of bigger channels, like whether it's Fox News, CNN, or something like that, and like they'll be covering the exact same topics. But is it because they're big? Because the way it was explained to me is they are large enough that they already have people to sell their ads. So my argument would be, I'm like, okay, if YouTube is making its money via putting actual marketing material, commercials on videos, if you have pre-roll space, if YouTube doesn't want to monetize that, why don't they open that up to like third parties? You could create a whole other industry, just a third party like brokerage agency.
So here's the joke, being the advertisers already have tons of options. In fact, when the 4 days Pnoid was monetized, the primary video was that would play before a Pnoid video, or advertisement before a Pnoid video, was for lawnmowers. Does that surprise you at all?
No.
That the lawnmower companies would have been like, yep, men, once they get to a point where they own a house, they like mowing their fucking lawns, so we're gonna advertise in front of these kind of channels because, you know,
doing my mower breaks and stuff like that. If all of a sudden I wasn't on YouTube Premium and I saw a little ad on Tom Pnoid Live, I'd be like, oh, maybe I'll consider this mower brand.
Yeah, like, here's the thing, like, I have to go out and get actual advertisers myself. Like, I have to get somebody to sponsor me. That's kind of the deal. Like, fucking,
yeah, I think
you have to do it yourself at this point.
You know what, I kind of talk.
I've had offers. Like, I had offers from people who sell sex dolls and shit to fucking, like, sponsor my shit.
Yeah, he was kind of flaky.
Why did you turn it down, dumbass? That would be. Like,
I didn't turn it down. I didn't turn it down. It's just I wasn't big enough yet to fucking do it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, that's kind of the deal. And
to
like,
be
I'm
honest,
not really...
you're still not, but you should be. I mean, I'm just saying,
have
like,
you thought about changing the music and the setting?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we thought about it. The only thing that's like been a saving grace is Tom P's. If you've noticed, he's been doing a lot of economics videos lately. I'll actually let Tom P explain that one to his audience.
Well, yeah, it's really simple. You know what I'm saying? They keep fucking me over for covering the news. Like, I have to hide for a little. There's a certain point in life where you have to either decide that, look, man, I gotta, like, fucking, if I want to stay alive, I have to continue to, like, try to do something that they're not gonna bother me for, or, like, I'm gonna end up, like, fucking, like legitimately losing my channel. Like, we've had 6 strikes in, like, the past 5 months. Like, we've been getting fucking just smashed. We're on a level where my last video got 76 views. 76. My average video gets 350 fucking views.
Well, the only reason why they're striking your channel because they don't like what you're saying. They don't like.
That's what I'm saying. That's where my mentality is, right? Like, they're legitimately not sending out notifications. They're not recommending my shit. They're not putting me in a fucking algorithm. You know what I mean? Like, I've had one video recently that hit, and that was that GE video. You know what I mean? Everything else has just been a downward fucking spiral. Legit. Like, they are fucking my channel up right now. And, like, people aren't fucking, you know, like, because nobody goes through their subscriptions and shit. And I mean, that's fine. Like, I understand this. You know, like, I'm perfectly fucking...
The subscriptions that you supposedly get are fucking covered because they don't want anybody to know there is a thing going, a live stream going on. That's why I got pissed off about, because I couldn't get any notifications at all.
This is why I tell everybody, join the fucking Discord. And I mean, legitimately, join the Discord. That way you get all the notifications of my fucking shit, you know what I mean, being dropped and whatnot. Like, follow me on Twitter, Glass Joe at 10101010, right, whatever. Fucking, like, yo, because my shit, like, it's G Joe, fucking 10101010, right? And I mean, fucking, I gotta change that in my fucking, like, manual description thing that I fucking have. I gotta re-go over all my things and change all the tags and stuff. You know, like, everything has to be fucking changed up. Because, like, legitimately, they are smacking the fuck out of my goddamn channel right now. Like, I've had people say that they're getting desubscribed. They're getting fucking, you know what I mean, the notification bell clicked off. You know, like, fucking people aren't being told that I'm dropping videos. Like, it's getting to the point where YouTube is being bitches about shit. And, like, I have a good following on BitChute a little bit. Like, I got, like, 80 subs over there or whatever. You know, but, like, fucking nobody's on BitChute. Nobody stays on BitChute. Like, and there's no other fucking platform to run to, really. There's nowhere we can stream other than here. D Live is kicking everybody the fuck off of there. So it is what it is. And I mean, like, fucking, we are goddamn boned. And so I'm going to try and cover economics and build a following off of that. And we're not doing bad. We just crossed over 2,000 fucking subs. You know what I mean? We're at 2020.
Man.
All right,
yeah,
so
you know what I mean? We're getting it done. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, it's not like we're shrinking. We're still like, yo, and regardless of the fact that we're standing here fucking, you know what I mean, like being fucking smashed by you. I'm still fucking growing because I go out here and I promote and I get on other people's streams and people hear me and they like what I'm doing. They think I'm funny and they come watch my fucking videos. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still growing because people hear about me and they like my shit. But it's a fucking hard slog getting where we're going. Like, I should be at 50,000 subs right now. Legit.
Yeah. So I have the graphs up here, right? So
no, Tom's got hustle. And Excel, you got the technical expertise.
Yeah, so this purple here is just people on browse features, right? So that's fine. But look at how 50% of his views almost came from suggested videos at this time. Then if I shrink this, right? So this I'm looking even further. You look at like the suggested video line, and also the red is suggested videos. Watch how it just gets thinner and thinner, and it doesn't really matter how many people are watching.
It's not all at once either. It's going down in steps.
Yeah, it's just going down and going down to the point where it's barely any of his view time, right? So YouTube obviously did something to content creators like Pnoid. Because up here, whenever his channel was really taking off and he was really getting shit done, and this is around whenever me and you kind of found our stride, right? Mm-hmm. Like lots and lots. And then, like, of course it's going to go down, right? But still, like, a decent chunk of these videos, like views here, are from either the search or they're from the recommended pages, which also, like, you know, if you're getting recommended a lot, it has what would you call it? Like,
multiplier.
Yeah, it has a multiplying factor because people that get recommended, they subscribe, right? So it goes up, right? You get this little spike here, but then you just watch and you just see how this red and green just keeps going down and down and down, right? You're not getting recommended to anybody anymore.
Well, all they're doing is they're just spreading the views around.
Yeah, that's what's going on.
Yeah, like, legitimately, like, the vast majority of the people who watch my shit come from, like, Discord or Twitter.
Sorry, Roman, I didn't know you left.
By mistake, yeah.
He clicked the wrong thing.
That's all right. And I mean, like, fucking, yeah, but, like, yo, the vast majority of my views come from Discord and Twitter.
You know what? I need to get a third fucking monitor. That's what needs to happen.
Yeah, but, like, yo, nigga, I gotta go to work. I actually have to call my bosses. He's like, you're fucking this far from your fucking backhaul? And I'm like, yeah. Like, actually, I'm 160 miles from my backhaul at the fucking moment, but still. You know, I mean, like, you know, whatever. I don't fucking care.
The things Tom Pnoid does to deliver you content.
Yeah, man, I put off my own shit, but reality is like, fucking, the shit ain't ready anyway, so it don't fucking matter at all. You know, that's kind of the situation. So, anyway, I'm gonna holla at y'all. You know what I mean? I'm gonna fucking talk to y'all later. Yo, it's appreciated, everybody coming out. Make sure if you're not subbed, you hit that fucking sub button. You know what I mean? Hit the notification bell. Show me some motherfucking love and whatnot. And I mean, you know the deal, like, fucking these niggas is trying to bang us. Yo, it is what it is. In the meantime, man, I want to say I got love for each and every one of y'all for sticking by and banging with me and rocking. We had a great show tonight. Excel, thank you for running things. Cal and Memes, thank you for coming out. Roman, thank you for coming in and, like, not saying shit. Nigga, like, I don't know, whatever. Right?
Could you just send me a link to the social site?
What social site?
The Socialist site, whatever, the page that you just read about, the communism.
The 1619 project. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, send me that thing. I want to see how bad it is.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. They're not gonna let you access. Are you familiar with archive.is?
No, but I can find a way. Just give the link. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, no problem, man. No problem. All right, yeah. You know what I mean? Fucking, yo, it's appreciated, everybody. I gotta get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna holler at y'all motherfuckers later. Yo, Excel, shut this bitch the fuck down, nigga.
Yeah, good night.
All right, peace.